Hello, ladies, and welcome to the Forever Love podcast. I am your host and relationship coach, Lily Mtongwiza, and this week I am really excited to announce that the Foundations for Love program is open for enrollment. You can now sign up to get private coaching, my entire signature course, Ready for the One, the 31-day challenge, and so much more. Devotionals, meditations, so much goodness. All of the group coaching replays are going to live under one roof, and that's now called the Foundations for Love program. This is a subscription-based program, so it makes it easy and affordable for as many people as possible to enroll and get the help they need to honor this God-given desire for a Christ-centered marriage. The program is packed with valuable content that I have created over the past 5 years, and I want to share it with you at a ridiculously low price. This is thousands and thousands of dollars worth of material packed into a program that you can now purchase for $49 a month. There is no contract. This is as you need it, as much as you need. It is all there for you. You get to decide what you need and do the work in a way that makes sense for you. Plus, you'll be getting coaching along the way so that you can really dive into the material that will serve you best in this season, whichever season you may be. Ready for the One is designed to be there for you during the various seasons of a relationship, from being single, dealing with a breakup, starting dating, courtship, and preparing for marriage. All of the information you need to make godly decisions and move forward with your life, especially your love life, but really we focus on your entire life. When I was thinking about Ready for the One, it is not just about the one you're going to marry. It is about Jesus being the one. It is about you being the one. It is about becoming who you are. It's about connection, belonging, and love, and doing the work that you need to do, taking the action that you need to take from a really healthy, Christ-centered place of love. So I am really excited to invite you to join me. All you have to do is go to Proverbs 2426.com/love. You need to type love with like lowercase letters. For some reason, if you use any capitals, it won't come up. But Proverbs 2426.com/love, all lowercase, and sign up today. I can't wait to see you inside the program. This is where I will be doing all of my private coaching from now on. You must be a member of the Foundations for Love program, which means you have access to all my coursework, and you can work at your own pace, and you can do a lot of this work independently, but I am there to support you along the way as you need me as well. So head over to Proverbs 2426.com/love. And today I have a very special episode where I'm going to be sharing with you a conversation I had with one of my coaching clients. She's here today to talk about the lessons she's learned from doing this work. She started, I didn't even know, but we're going to talk about this. You'll see in the conversation we're about to have. She started with the 31-day challenge, which is included in the Foundations for Love program. And she worked through some heartache. She worked through some real challenges. And she is now in a relationship that is thriving, that is positioned for marriage. And she's here to share her story. So I would love for you to be encouraged and inspired by the wisdom that she has to share with us today, and I thank her for the generosity and the vulnerability that she shows up with when she shares this story with you. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, today, ladies, I am super excited to welcome one of my beloved clients. Her name is Carmela, and she is here to talk a little bit about her journey on her path of love and what she has learned along the way. So I am so excited to welcome her. Thank you for being here, Carmela. Could you just say hi and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Carmela. I'm from Sydney, Australia. I'm 42 and I have never been married, so that's been one of my struggles. And I think it was probably about 2, 3 years ago, a friend of mine went on to Tinder and she was telling me all of these weird stories about guys she met. So I went on Tinder for a bit, and I guess it was just kind of a shift of, yeah, I really want this to happen, and kind of ended up meeting this guy who I was with for about 9 months during, like a 3.5 period lockdown. So we were really there for each other, and or basically, sanity for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess after the lockdown, that's when he started to see some sort of cracks, and kind of quite suddenly decided that it wasn't going to work. And that left me really, really heartbroken.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided, I heard about your 30-day, digital detox. And that really, really helped me, because it helped me get over some of the reasons why we broke up. It helped me kind of get over that fear that, oh, have I made the right decision? Is there going to be someone else? All of these questioning and doubts that I had, and kind of helped me get through all of that. And in
Yeah,
the
I didn't even
process,
realize that. I didn't
yeah,
realize that you started with the challenge. Tell me a
yeah,
little
yeah.
bit more about that. Like, what did you learn in the challenge that helped you move through that breakup?
One of them was the breathing
Mm,
exercise. That was really, really helpful. Not so much the actual podcast, but I think there was a passage
yeah.
that we had to read. Yeah, that was extremely helpful, because I guess that just calmed me a little bit, because any spare second I had, I would just have this sadness. Yeah, but it
Right.
really helped to just remind myself to breathe.
Mm,
Another one was that we were made for love and to love.
mm-hmm.
That really helped. Even just the thought that there will be someone else, you know,
Yeah.
that was a big one. Yeah. And I cheated a little bit. And in that process of cheating, I did actually start chatting with another guy who I kind of seen online a few years before, and just never had anything happen. And he gave me his number, and we started talking a lot. And he's very intentional about what he wants. So
Mm,
he got to the really deep question straight away, which was really confusing, because I'm like, what does this guy want? Like, why is he going so deep straight away? We don't even know each other, and there was no kind of romance that made me think he liked me. So yeah, it took a while to sort out how I felt about him, and that's where I kind of decided, oh, I want to go through some more coaching. And in your coaching, we kind of went through the life code about some of the doubts I had with him, and
mm-hmm.
how to frame this relationship differently from my last relationship.
That's really
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Mm.
Can you share a little bit about like what you reframed in your mind?
One of them was, at first, certain times where I would look at him, he kind of reminded me of my dad. And that was huge. I was like, ew, I don't know if I want to be with someone that reminds me of my dad, but he is actually a dad. So I kind of had to reframe that way, that he's a dad, not necessarily my dad. And just, I guess this is more recently looking at the bigger picture of the relationship, like as a bit of a cake or a soup or something that has lots of different ingredients in it.
Yeah.
Rather than focusing on one ingredient, you look at the whole dish. The whole,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's really important.
Yeah.
And do you still like
Mm.
look at him and get that feeling like, oh, he still looks like my dad? Like where
Oh,
did that thought go? And what do you do with it now?
um, sometimes actually, I still get that thought, but uh, I don't know. I'm still working through that one as well. Yeah,
Yeah. And
but yeah.
sometimes it's um just about allowing there to be weird thoughts in our heads. Like
Mm,
not to
mm.
take everything our brain comes up with quite so seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
there's that fun thought that I just love having in my brain every
Mm,
now and then. And kind of
yeah,
letting it be there without worrying about it. Like, oh yeah, that thought.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what made you decide that you needed some coaching or support?
There was part of the relationship that made me think, yeah, this has something in there, like there's potential here.
Mm,
I knew he was good for me because he's really Christ-centered and spirit-led, and that's the part that I'm still really attracted to.
yeah.
But it was kind of in a convicting, uncomfortable kind of way, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is always uncomfortable when someone's pointing out things that about you that you can improve on or that you might need to change. But I didn't want to ignore that, because I kind of felt this has potential and this could be from God. And that's
Yeah.
why I decided I needed some coaching to kind of see it from a godly perspective and
Right.
find what God wanted. Yeah. Mm.
Because it can be really hard to figure out, like, am I trying to change to please somebody else, or am I willing to
Mm.
change because I recognize an opportunity for growth that would
Mm.
actually help me a lot?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'm still working through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Mm.
we know that when you ignore, like, when we change too much, that can be a bit of a red flag. And so
Mm.
having somebody to kind of come alongside and be like, am I walking a thin line here? Where is this fear really coming from? Is it coming from the circumstance that I'm in, or is it coming from something else that's being triggered from something else that has nothing to do with him?
Mm. Mm. Yeah. I'm also really cautious that I don't want to get into a relationship where, the guy is controlling and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, that's another thing I wanted to work through and still very wary of. But I think one thing you helped me with is that as long as I'm aware of the signs and aware, of when it might be happening, I don't need to run from it. I don't need to be scared of it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
the analogy was the smoke alarms. That was a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're scared of having a fire, but before you get to a fire, you hear the smoke alarms and you smell the smoke and you see it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you trust
Mm.
yourself that you will leave, you will end the relationship, you will respond to a violation of your boundaries. And you trust
Mm.
that no matter what, I'm going to take care of myself in this situation. And I think that
Mm.
gives you the freedom to find out, like, and where is this fear coming from?
Mm. Mm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I think we've got a really healthy communication as well with my new boyfriend. We're able to tell each other how we feel. We're able to call each other out and everything like that. So if something bothers me, I can tell him, which
Right.
is
So you
yeah,
have safety now within your relationship because there's that space to be a little bit vulnerable.
yeah, yeah,
That's
definitely,
beautiful.
yeah.
So, what is life like now?
It's really fun with him, my new boyfriend. He's got lots of friends that he's introduced me to. He's introduced me to different parts of Sydney that I haven't really been to. Um, you know, where we're talking about getting married, and so yeah, it's really, really good to have him around, and yeah, just exploring, what that might look like and how if it's going to work. So,
Mm. And so, what's the biggest difference you see between where you are today and where you were, say, just 3 months ago?
3 months ago, um, well, it was kind of the beginning of my relationship with my boyfriend about 3 months ago. So now
Hmm.
we're able to, we know each other a lot better. We're more comfortable. I'm more comfortable, I think, and more relaxed. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
still very much like eyes wide open. A friend of mine has this saying that when you're dating, you should keep your eyes wide open, but when you get married, that should kind of be half shut. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So looking out for that and just enjoying each other's company. Like the other day, we climbed the Harper Bridge, and
nice.
So that was really, really fun. Yeah. So,
That's
yeah.
awesome. I'm so excited
Yeah.
for you. I just love watching your journey and the different things you're learning along the way about your partner and about yourself and about your relationship with God and how it's all coming together so cohesively for you. It's just really, really exciting to watch that development. And I'm so, so proud of you. So if there was one thing you wanted to share with other women who might resonate with your story and kind of understand where you are, where you were and where you are now, what would you say to them? What advice would you give them?
A year or two, I was in a place of real kind of hopelessness. Like, is this ever going to happen for me? I'm not going to get married, and, in particular, just wanting to, am I even ever going to have sex? Because I'm waiting to get married for that. But I think for now, it's just taking those steps of faith, that there is always hope. And in the meantime, keeping your eyes on Jesus. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's really beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. If you had to choose one word to describe where you were when you started your journey, and you can decide when you would like to define that starting of this journey and where you are now, what would those two words be, like from the beginning and for where you are now?
Where I am right now, it is probably a lot more confident in myself and in my relationship. And where I was before, it was more waiting and twiddling my thumbs. Impatient. I guess.
And I know a lot of women would relate to that. They're trying to be patient, they're trying to wait, but they also feel like time is slipping through their hands and it's going to be too late. And when do we stop waiting? When do we what would you say to them? Like, how would you encourage them?
One day at a time, I guess. There's always going to be ups and downs. There's going to be waves. That's another thing from the podcast that really helped me as well. For more challenge, that idea of feelings are just waves. Yeah, that really helped.
Because then we can just kind of like stand there and let the waves come and embrace them and stop being afraid of them. We discover we have a lot of inner strength when we really like stand firm, especially in standing firm in love and in our faith in God and showing ourselves what's possible for ourselves.
Yeah. It's really hard because every single one of my friends has been married and had kids. So still very much feel like I'm in my early 20s. Still kind of haven't grown up in some ways, I feel, but that's not true. I mean, I've got, and I guess that's one thing I would encourage other women about as well. That your life is your story. It doesn't, not any better or worse than anybody else's. It's just a different story from other people.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Carmela. I just appreciate you being here and sharing your story. I know that it's going to be a blessing to so many other women. And just thank you from the bottom of my heart for being brave and taking this journey for yourself and being an example of what's possible to other people. So thank you so much.
My pleasure.